Hi everyone. I started a little bit early today. I'm probably going to cut this out of the final video. Um, and we will plan on getting started soon. I know that people were joining and it wouldn't say anything. So I wanted to make sure that like a video was up when people joined. How's everyone doing today? Well, we're sort of waiting for everyone to show up and get started. Why does it say live stream offline? It drives me crazy that there's no like super good link to this. Make sure I'm in the right account. So we'll start in two minutes here. So it doesn't seem like the link is working actually. Let me try and get the live link here so I can send it to everyone. Hi everyone. Okay, cool. So it's working here. I'm gonna go in. So everyone, give me a second. I'm just gonna send everyone the updated link. Just because I think the link that I send out for Coding Club isn't working for some people. So just like give me a second to do that and we'll start coding in a moment here. But in that time, you can go ahead and click on the link that is either in the description or I like have it here on the screen and we'll start coding really soon. Hi, Enrique. Oh, cool. Is it working? Oh, awesome. It is. Okay, I don't need to send an updated link to anyone. Yay, amazing. I hope everyone's having a really good day. For those of you who were here last week, we're going to do something kind of similar today. We're going to keep using these video game elements to make something that isn't quite a game, but is game-like, has game elements, has like interaction, and it's going to be fun. This one specifically is like a secret message project. So I have like a picture of a map in the like live stream description. Because I sort of think about this as like a treasure map project. Someone's like looking around the screen for clues and you're giving it to them as we code the project. So let's see. I think everyone's here. Hello, everyone. As always, here's the link to the project directly. I'll post it in the chat. And then if you want to code along in the sandbox instead for whatever reason, that's the link there, and that's just a link to the open sandbox where you can kind of code anything you want. So let's get started. If anyone does join late, I can always post my code in for them to follow along. Hi, what dat? It looks like we have 11 people here, which is cool for today. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of the starting soon thing because we have, in fact, started. Welcome to Coding Club. I'm Leandra. This is a club that meets once a week. We make different JavaScript projects. I think we might expand to some more web development stuff soon. I'm thinking that like making websites together could be kind of fun. People have been asking for that for a long time. But today we are just making like a secret message game. Where someone has to like click around the screen, find your secret message, and then they win if they do. So with that, let's get started. Let's see. So first, we need a background for our project. I think it would be fun to have like a bit of a map here. So I am going to go to, once again, just like Creative Commons media search and look up like a map. And this is what I'm going to have my secret message on. As always, you can use the assets that are already like in the vidcode editor, or you can look up and add assets on your own as well. This is a cool map. This would be fun for a video game, I think. Yeah, this is super cool, actually. Okay, so I'm going to copy this just so I remember to give credit to this person after. I'm just going to add it as a comment in my code. And then I don't want this banner, so I'm actually going to be kind of lazy here and just take a screenshot and just upload this. Oh, I uploaded the wrong thing. There we go. Hi, Awesome Gamer 333. For those of you who are new here, I know we have a few new people who just signed up for club. So like I said, we code fun projects together once a week. We learn about JavaScript. This is the code editor where we're actually going to be typing. We're going to have different blocks that we can drag in. Blocks appear as you click through the instructions. So make sure that you're on the same step that I am at any stage. And this is your media gallery, so you're able as well to upload your own photos and videos or record stuff. So just know that that's there. There's going to be some like media already loaded in here that you can use for your project. It's completely up to you if you want to use what's there or if you want to upload your own stuff. So once that's ready, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it in. I know it's not what the instructions say. The instructions say to drag a text block to start, but I really want everything to happen on top of my map. If I do something else first, like anything that I do might have different XY coordinates, just because like clearly this map isn't the same dimensions as my canvas was before I loaded it. Just so to talk about this code really quick, so this is the code that's actually making this image appear on my canvas. If I changed the name of this file, this would update. And that's kind of true for everything. I actually kind of like this for a secret message project. I like that, like, if you hover over a screen, something would appear on a different screen. So I actually think that I'm going to keep that, even though I was just doing that as an example. So to start, go ahead, if you're following along. As always, feel free to follow along as I'm coding this, or you can watch this and code along after. The URL for this project is like available to you forever. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's up to you depending on how you want to code this project today. So I'm going to drag in this text block here. A few things happen. I get a variable called my_text1 that's holding this text function, this text object that right now says hello. So basically, I'm going to hide a bunch of secret messages all over this project that someone has to find, like a scavenger hunt. And that's what we're going to be doing. So at first, this is just going to be blank. So basically, go ahead and just make it blank. We do want to change the properties first. I think we should do that while this is still here, and then get rid of it after. I'm going to fill this with an emoji. I can get emojis with my edit menu, but for those of you who aren't on Macs, you can go to this site and copy and paste emojis here. I'm going to, what's like a good like secret message emoji? I guess like hiding a crown, like that would be something, right? Like find the crown. Or, I mean, these elves are cool, right? Like if it's a fantasy game, like an elf would give you a secret message. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this elf and just paste it here. I like her, she looks cool. And then let's go ahead and change some of the properties of this emoji. One is going to be the size. For those of you who are new here, basically we can change the properties of our different objects in JavaScript by setting them inside these variables that act like containers, and then being able to call this word later on in my code, and being able to use this thing called dot notation here to change the different properties of that object. Things like size, things like color, things like the X and Y position, which is where it's positioned on my canvas. Luke says, I took a screenshot of something and I can't find it in my files. I'm not sure. What kind of computer do you have, Luke's? If it's a Chromebook, that can be kind of a pain. Or like I have no idea where to find stuff on like different tablets either. So I'm going to change the X and Y position of this. X is going to be left and right. Y is going to be up and down. And I'm just going to hide it, place it for now inside this box right here. I'll probably make her say something as well, but I'm not going to do that yet. So if you're following along, go ahead and also place your like message, whether it's a message or an emoji or a graphic, and just place it somewhere on your canvas that makes sense for you before we go ahead and hide it. Luke, let's see. I'm really not sure. Sorry, I'm talking to Luke's in the chat. And if you all do have any bugs as you go through, feel free to post them in the chat. Part of the fun of Coding Club is that I get to help you all debug live, which is kind of my favorite part. Yeah, Luke, if you tell us what sort of computer that you have, I can maybe help better. Cool. So this wants us to like make an empty string. I'm not gonna do this that way. I'm actually just gonna change the opacity instead just because like I'm using emojis and just changing the message is going to be sort of a pain every time. I'm going to have to like find the emoji over and over again. So instead of doing that, I'm going to change the opacity. That makes more sense to me. So in addition to .size, .x, .y, in VidCode we also have a .opacity setting. And it goes from 0 to 1. Oh, I need to use the right variable name. There we go. So it goes from 0 to 1. So 1 is going to be completely opaque. Like I can't see through her at all, right? So 0.5 is going to be halfway. She's going to be a little bit ghostly. And then 0, she's going to be completely invisible. Yeah, Luke, sorry, I'm really not sure. One thing that you can do, just to show you, would be, so I'm going to like look up, let's say like a map again. Just like any map. So if I was going to save this, and this is just for Luke's in the chat, I could potentially like right click on this and go to save image as, and then like save it somewhere specific. So that might work better than just trying to save a screenshot. Cool. So here's my code. Just to start, I'll paste it in the chat in case anyone's a bit behind. As always, your project does not have to look like mine. You can add any sort of messages you want. Keep in mind that the final project is going to be this like secret message thing where someone's moving their mouse around and sort of unlocking different messages, being like led around this map. In my case, like a map of websites. So as always, yeah, your project doesn't have to look like mine. So for the next part of this, I'm going to drag in this if-else block. It's not going to change anything yet, and that is for a few reasons. The first is there's nothing in it. So for those of you who were there last week, you remember that we used these if-else statements, and they're essentially checking to see if something is true, and if it is, do something, and if it's not, do something else. So if I was giving you instructions to the grocery store, I would say like, if you see a certain street name, turn left, else keep going straight. That's the same thing with this code. If you don't see this if-else block, make sure that you're also on step 3 out of 11. Cool. So we actually have to put this if-else block into a repeat statement. So I'm going to give you this code at the end as well. And for those of you who are more familiar with VidCode, you're going to know why. But for now, so here's the code that holds the loop and the repeat statement. Make sure that as you copy and paste it into your code, you sort of add enter sign, like spaces and indentations the same way I have here, and that'll help you organize your code better. For those of you who are new to VidCode, the repeat block is basically running code over and over and over again. So it's the same thing as a loop in Scratch, where everything here is run once, and anything to repeat is run multiple times. So just something to know. If I, like, the only reason I know that is because I learned that in other tutorials. For now, I wouldn't worry about it too much. We can go back and do something specifically on repeat loops in another class. For now, just know that this is what this code is. Copy and paste it in, and it'll sort of make sense as we go through it later. So now, just like last time when we were moving Grumpy Cat around, we want to know where our mouse's position is and change our different messages based on that. That's how we uncover different things. So here, I'm going to check. And if you're ever curious where your different X and Y coordinates are on your project, you can always hover over your canvas. And you see how these X and Y numbers are appearing on the bottom left here? So that is the X and Y position of where my mouse is. Yours might be different. It depends on the dimensions of your photo or video that you're using. So in this case, I want my elf person to appear here if my mouse is over here. So it looks like this starts if I move my mouse at 288. So here I'm going to say if mouse.x, which is the x position of my mouse, is greater than 288. Oh, so Luke's. So it's essentially just hiding random, like random places. So you can just hide things anywhere. I just happen to like already have this website picture. But I think that's a good suggestion to have like maps or something in these. So I'm going to write that down and we can actually change that on the VidCode end. Yeah, it's just our like default assets. Risha is asking, where did you find the movie source image? So I uploaded this. I actually made this, this graphic. If you guys wanted to use it, actually, I think this will work. Maybe not. I'm not sure that this will work. Let me try something. Did it? No. I thought maybe I could like give you guys my source picture. Well, if anyone wants to, let me see if this will just load. Yeah, if anyone wants to use this picture that I'm using, I just posted the link in the chat, like that goes directly to it. So you can go ahead and use it yourself. Let me get the other one I uploaded too. So these are the different links to some of the assets that I had that you can use. So you can just go to the links that I'm posting in the chat and download those and use them as your background as well. Okay, cool. So the first thing that I want to do here is make sure that this is actually running. One of my least favorite things when I'm trying to code a project is like I do all this work to like make something perfect and then it's not working at all and I can't figure out where my bug is. So I always like to test things while I'm doing them. So here I'm actually going to say if mouse.x is greater than 288, then log working. And that just lets me know that my if statement is working. Like for example, if I hadn't put my if else statement in a repeat function, I wouldn't, like, it wouldn't be working at all, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be because I used my emoji code wrong or anything else. It would be because I just didn't do this one thing right. So here I'm going to go in. You can see I put my mouse here. I'm not seeing anything in my log. And then I go to the right. And there it is. Okay. So you can see that I'm getting this working message. I can assume that my project is working okay. My conditional is doing what I expect it to do. Everything is going well. So now instead of just having like a not useless, it helped me know it was working, but instead of having like a random log message, I instead want to have my elf appear. So I'm going to go ahead and say my text1.opacity, and I'm going to set it to 1. And there we go. Under else, so if it's not true, I'm going to set it back to 0. So does this make sense to everyone? Can you guys let me know in the chat if this makes sense to you? So I'm checking if my mouse is greater than 288, make my elf visible. If it's not, hide it again. So when I go here, it's visible. When I'm back, it's not. So I'm like hiding this sort of message here. Does that make sense to people? Are you able to get it? It's hard because I know that some people are like newer today. Yeah, Enrique, can you paste your code in the chat? It might help some other people too, actually, because I'm sure other people are like running into bugs. Yeah, so while Enrique does that, I'm going to go ahead and clean some of my code up really quick. I'm going to get rid of this message here. I really like this. I need something to appear in this one too, and this one, and this one. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to be debugging Enrique's code here. If anyone sees anything up with it, let us know. Post it in the chat what you see. It's always like more fun when we're sort of debugging as a group. All right, cool. This looks right to me so far. Oh, Enrique, or no. Yeah, Enrique, this is 100% working. So the only thing I would change here, so you see, if my x is greater than 288, I'm getting this log of working, which is exactly what your code is asking for. So you know that your if else statement is working perfectly. The only thing I would change here, because I think you want your robot to appear, so here I would just set my text1.opacity to 1. So you're basically taking this robot and making it visible. And then in the else, which is if it's not true, if x is less than 288, you're just going to set it back to 0. And it's working perfectly. You had perfect code, Enrique. Let me go ahead and paste this back in so you have it. Yeah, and if anyone else is having trouble, share it as well. I think, yeah, like I said, I think debugging really helps everyone. So we can be a bit more specific here as well. We can say if mouse.x is also, not only if it's greater than, I only want it to appear if I'm in this, this rectangle. So I want it only to appear if I'm less than 451 as well. Because if you see right now, like anywhere I put my mouse over here, it's working, but I only want it to appear if I'm in this box. So to do that, if I want two things to be true, I have to write plus plus, or and, which is this right here. And that lets me have like this if check two things, not just one. So here, let's see, and mouse.x is less than 451. Perfect. So now if I did this right, this will only appear, yep, when I'm hovering over this box. Very cool. So when I get off of it, my elf goes away. Cool. So this wants us to check mouse.x and mouse.y as well. I'm not going to do that yet, just because I want to make sure that everyone has like a finished project. So I think instead of messing around with like the .x and .y properties, I am going to like add some more hidden messages here, just to make this feel more like a game before we're done for today. So in addition to my elf person, I'm gonna have her say a message. I'm gonna have her say like, keep looking. I might change it later. So I'm just gonna go back to the top and add another text block in here. And I'm gonna say, instead of hello, I'm gonna say, maybe I'll say like hello adventure. I don't know. Hello adventure. Something that people say in video games, right? Or she could say like welcome. Because it's sort of like potentially the first thing that you're seeing in this video game. Someone's asking for my code. I'll go ahead and post that in just so everyone has it. So it's not letting me post all of my code. Let me do it in some pieces here. Cool. So let's see. I want my elf to say, hello, adventure. Nah, I don't know. No preamble. I'm just gonna say, look down. There we go. That's better. I don't know what I was trying to do. I'm trying to like make it into a whole video game, which we obviously don't have time for. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the color here. I usually just set red, and that, so this like box pops up and I'm able to choose a more specific color. I like that. I like that purple. It matches my background. And to do this, just so you know, I'm doing this the same way that I was doing it with my previous text object. So I'm calling the variable name and then editing the different properties here. So I can do my text2.size equals like, I want it to be smaller, so like 35 we can try. That looks better. And then I'm going to change the X and Y position to be right above my not priestess, my elf. It's not working. It's too much. There we go. Okay, cool. So then, can anyone let me know in the chat what I would have to do to like hide this the same way I'm hiding my elf? So what would I have to change? Like what properties? And then where would I have the update? One thing I'm going to do is actually copy this text and move it under where my elf appears so that it's actually appearing in front of her and I can see the whole message. Okay, I'll give you guys the answer. So I would have to change the opacity just like I am here. So just like I did with my elf, I'm going to say my text2.opacity, and I'm just going to set it to 0 so it's invisible, just like with the other one. And then I want it to have the exact same conditions as the elf. I want it to appear at the same time. It's a message that she's saying. Oh, yay, Enrique got it. Awesome. So yeah, so then here I'm going to go ahead and change the opacity as well. And then if I'm not hovering over it, I want to change it back. And I'm just doing that, you can see, with the different variable names here. So my text 1 is using the variable name for the elf, and then my text 2 is using the variable name for this like text that she's saying. Cool. Okay, I have my first step. I like this. So then what else? So I think I'm gonna have this, like, I hover over here, it says look down, I go down here, like I go down here, and then something appears here that says go left, and then I go here and it says you win. So maybe not like the most exciting thing in the world, but kind of like a fun little hidden game. And you can see how we would apply this to a map, and you can also see how important this is when we do go in and make something like a video game, right? Because we're gonna need to know like where the user's mouse is. We're gonna need to know like what they're clicking on. And a lot of that is like using conditionals and using sort of where our mouse is. So let's see. So then I think, yeah, so here I'm gonna move my mouse down, and then something's gonna appear in this screen, and it's gonna say like your prize is to the left. So I need to first drag in my text block again. And I need to choose what sort of like thing is there. So I'm going to go back to get emoji, like what kind of person is giving me this message. I think I want it to be a ghost. I like ghosts. I think they're cool. So I'm just going to copy this ghost here. And this ghost is going to be what's giving us a message. So the first thing I have to do is change the position. I do that the same way I do the others, just moving it around. Just like before, I'm not going to hide it until I've positioned it where I want it, just because it's obviously a lot easier to position it. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, way too big. Very large ghost. Cool. Okay, and then I'm gonna have the ghost say, your prize is to the left. Just like before, I'm not going to change the opacity of any of these yet. I want to, I'm gonna make my face smaller. There we go. I want to make sure they're positioned right first. Actually, instead of just saying left, I'm going to use the like left flipping eyeballs to make it like more of a clue. Perfect. I love it. My text 4.color, I'm going to make it also a different color. I'm not going to make it purple because like ghosts are spooky. I'm going to make it gray. I'm going to change the size. It's way too big. Cool. And then just like before, I'm going to change the X and Y position. Oh, too much. Also too much. There we go. I think 80 works. Make it a little smaller so it fits. There we go. So I'm just positioning and making these perfect. If you're following along, do the same. Just make sure everything's sort of styled the way you want it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just hide these, just like I did the others. So I'm going to say my text 4.opacity equals 0, and then my ghost is my text3. I probably should have given these better variable names. That opacity equals 0. Oh, cool. Jeremy, sorry for just seeing it now. What's your error? Okay, no problem. Jeremy, let me know where you're at with your projects. Why is this not working? So I have some kind of error here. I'm not sure where. Oh, here we go. I have like this rogue quotation mark. Okay, no problem. So while we're waiting on Jeremy's code, let's see. So this works because it's checking the X position of my mouse. The next thing I want to do is check the Y position, right? I want to see if my mouse is still greater than 288 because I only want it to work on the right side here. But this time I also want to check the Y position to make sure it's down, right? X is going to be left and right. Y is going to be up and down. Okay, cool. We have Jeremy's project. I'm going to comment out my code really quick. Thank you. I feel like I've been like very out of it the past few clubs. Not out of it, but I feel like it's because we've been like working on harder projects. Okay, so for those of you watching right now, this is Jeremy's code that I just posted in. So it looks to me like everything's working. So here, yeah, Jeremy, your code's working great. So that's okay. So this is Jeremy's code. It's looking great. So basically we have this like text object up here. This might make things a little bit weird. This like starts off at 250, so like our guy might blink into existence at first. I'd probably set this to 0, Jeremy, just so it starts off as 0. So you might have different emojis. VidCode pulls from whatever local emoji library that you have. So it'll look different if you, like, for example, if you have, like, if you're on Microsoft or like a Chromebook and you have a different emoji pack. Yeah, so I'd probably change the opacity here. But other than that, this looks awesome. So you have this conditional here. It's checking if my mouse is greater than 288 or less than 451. And if I hover over my screen, there we go. It appears right there. That's awesome. Yeah, this is great. So also, I think this is keeping the dimensions of the picture I just had. Yours might have different dimensions, so just double check what it says on the bottom here when you're going through it. I think you're missing a piece. I don't know. Do you have other code besides the detective? You might have like a background or something. Okay, cool. So I'm almost out of time here. Oh, Enrique, that's such a good idea. Okay, I love that idea. I can make its message like that too, so it's like hard to see. So here, I'm gonna like add a bunch of spaces so you guys can see my code. So I'm actually gonna add inside my repeat function a new if else. I'm just gonna copy and paste this because we can be lazy. We only have 5 minutes left of club and I wanna finish this project. So here, instead of, I want to keep if mouse.x is greater than 288. I still want that to be true. But now I want to check my y position. So if my y position is greater than 276. So here I'm going to say mouse.y is greater than, bigger than 276. And instead of text.1 and 3, I'm going to say 3 and 4, 3 and 4. And then I'm going to change the ghost opacity to 0.25. And I'm going to change the message opacity to like 0.1. I'm going to make it really hard to see. Let's see if this works. I'm going to go ahead and hover here. So my elf is still working. It's always good to double check that our old code still works. Sometimes it doesn't when we make changes. Oh, this should be mouse.y, not mouse.7. So Luke's, that's the mouse.x code. And then here's my like whole entire conditional. Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep like jumping into these hard projects. Let me know if you think that we should work on maybe some more simpler ones. It's hard to like balance sort of bringing in the video game elements and keeping things more simple. So let's see if this works. I'm over here. I'm down. Ah, yes. My ghost appears. He's spooky. So then your prize is to the left. I'm going to add a trophy here with the 3 minutes we have left. Oh, gosh. Luke's, post your code. While we're waiting on Luke's code, I'm going to stay late. Obviously, you guys don't have to, but I'm going to stay late just to show off some of the projects and also make sure that I've helped everyone debug. So I added this trophy here, my text5 equals text trophy. You can just copy and paste something like this as well. I always like to have a win state in my games because I really like winning at things, and I assume other people feel that way as well. So I always like to have that like moment of winning something when I make things. So here I'm going to go ahead and move this down here. Or actually, no, I kind of want it to be just in the middle once my mouse is here. So I'm just going to center it. I'm going to make it huge. Nice. I'm going to center it. Cool. That looks good. It's not like super visible above everything. If I had more time, I would probably add a background to it. Okay, cool. We have Luke's code here. Pause everything. You guys know how to finish this. And once I'm done debugging Luke's code and publishing my project, I'm going to share work. So if you're interested, oh no, just submit your project, and I'll like open some examples. But basically I would use if and else the same way to check the position. This is broken. Oh no. Oh no. What a nightmare. What a terrible thing. Okay, so I am refreshing my page that I broke. Yeah, so as I'm doing this with Luke's project, you can go ahead and submit yours. I just lost all my code, unfortunately, which is why you always want to save your work, which I did not, but that's all right. So let's see, we have var my text1 is this cool cake, which I really like. So Luke's, one thing that I see here is you're setting my text2, which is going to be the cake, those properties twice. If you're trying to change look down, you're going to want to change the opacity like of that. So you're probably going to want to change these different variables to like be my text 2 so that it changes them. But I'll know in a bit when I've brought in the rest of your code. And if you want me to pull up your code as an example, go ahead and submit it, and I'll show it in a bit here. I'm going to add a semicolon here, just some grammar. So Luke, while I'm doing this, can you tell me what your code should be doing that it isn't doing? Like what you're expecting it to do that it isn't doing right now? Okay, I think I know what's happening here. So one thing that's happening is that all of your if-else statements need to be inside the repeat loop, or they're not going to work. Just because your computer or like your code will only be checked once and then never again. But it looks like here, so your cake is appearing. We have that. That's working. That's awesome. Cool. So yeah, so I think this, you're positioning this on my screen, lines 10 and 11. But one thing that I did was change the my text 1 here to be my text 2. And so then here, if I call my text 2.opacity and set that to 1 now, and then when I'm not on here, right, I'm changing my text 2.opacity back to 0. There we go. So then that starts to work. So you're just going to want to make sure that you're just using the right variable names here. And then if you did want to add like another if else, you're just going to want it to be inside your repeat statement. Yeah, like these are loaded. If I change this to 1, it'll load. You just have to change your sort of if else to have it appear. Yeah. So this is what I changed to have the look down stuff for. And then, for example, if I wanted like this, like the my prize, your prize is to appear, I would just copy this, like literally just copy and paste it, but make sure I'm pasting it inside my repeat function. And then I'll set, instead of like mouse.x, I'll set like mouse.y is greater than 100 or something. And then I'm going to want to like make your prize is appear. So I'm just going to check which variable is holding that, and it's my text 4. And then I'm just going to change my text 4, delete these two. And then now if I like hover below a certain point, that'll appear. So that's how I would do something like that. That's the code for that. So thank you all for staying, everyone who did. Let me go ahead and see if anyone submitted a project. Just to see. Risha, your code got deleted? I'm so sorry. My project actually got deleted too, but I'll go ahead and post Luke's. I'll give you credit, Luke's. So this is Luke's project if you want to like remix it or like copy and paste some of the code. Okay, oh my god, these are really good. So I'm opening one project now, VidCoders, just to show you all. I'm so sad that my project was So here's an example of one of the projects that was made today. it looks like everything's working amazing. So let me play it. I have to find the one sticker. What? Okay, I'm close. Look up. I went up. I didn't find anything. Oh, okay. Got it. I think I find the stars. Oh, I love this. Yay. And I love that you use this map graphic too. I think it's so pretty. Cool. I'm going to open VidCode Learners as well. Man, VidCode Learner always puts things in these objects. Like, you're absolutely so next level with these projects that you do. If you're still here, VidCode Learner, I'm always really impressed by them. So let's go ahead and start searching. I don't know. I don't know if I can find it. Hover over the screen to find... Oh! I found secret. Let's see if there's anything else. Wow, I really love this like fade in effect that you have too. This was very fun to play. And I'm also just like obviously constantly blown away by your code and the way that you organize it. Cool. Well, so we're a little bit over here. I'll end this now. Thank you all for coming. I think next week I'm going to do a little bit of an easier project just because I think we have people in all different places and I don't want to do anything that's too tricky here. But I do hope this was fun for everyone today and I'll see you all next week.